When Tony Shu founded DoorDash, one of the things that he wanted to solve was to make sure that the restaurants were introduced to online ordering. But what else came from that was the ability for individuals who are called dashers to make extra money as they delivered the orders of the customers. My name is Andrew Alliance, and in this video, what I want to do is give you some tips of the things that I've learned in my short time dashing. It's been a fun experience, and I definitely want to share these tips with you because I think that they will change your beginning journey, right? So the first thing I want to say is you should learn names. Names are really important. People love the sound of their names. So when you're going into getting the orders, or do you see someone preparing your order, if there's a name tag, there's something special about saying their name and just getting acquainted with them if you're going to be running in and out of that particular store. So names are important, so definitely learn names. Next I want to mention to you is tracking your expenses. Extremely important. So tracking your expenses, I know if you connect DoorDash with the app Everlance is the app that I use to track my expenses. That gives you 3 months of premium. And I'm always against subscription models, but when it comes to something that is so good that allows you to track your mileage and all your expenses and even revenue within the app, the mobile app, and it syncs to the desktop app, all that stuff that you get with Everlance is amazing. I'm gonna have a link for it in the description. It is a great tool, which I'm currently using, and it makes things so much easier when I'm trying to track everything that's happening with my business, right? So essential, definitely use that. You get 3 months if you're a new DoorDasher. And of course, the amount that you pay for the Everlance app is also tax. You can do a tax write-off for that. So very important. Definitely consider using Everlance. I have a link in the description below. The next thing I want to mention is download your Google Maps locally or wherever you plan to dash. One of the things that I realize is depending on the area that I'm in, as I'm dashing, if I'm not familiar with the area and the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi or the connection may not be so great, one of the things that I want to make sure I have is that I have the map downloaded locally to my phone, so I don't have to worry about what my next turn is going to be if that area has a very gray connection, right? So you want to make sure you download your Google Maps or whichever map system that you're using locally, so you're not necessarily worried about getting lost in a particular area that you're not familiar with. So there's that. The next thing I want to mention is as you're entering and exiting parking lots, one of the things that you want to make sure of is you find a best way to exit. So look for traffic lights. That gives you the option to either go left or right. Also reverse into the parking spots that you're parking into. So that way it's easy for you to exit that particular parking lot. If you're doing runs that are between 10:30 and 1:30 p.m. or runs that are between 4 and 7:30 p.m., those times are going to be extremely busy in the parking lots that you're going to go to. So make sure that you have a great way to exit those parking lots as you're making your runs. The next thing I want to mention on this docket as well is to drive with 2 hands. It sounds weird that that's a recommendation, but not so weird when you think of how efficient you can be if you're driving with 2 hands. Every transporter that is amazing at driving in any way, shape, or form, they drive with both hands. You could think of any of the best racers that have won championships from any racing type of event around the world. They all drive with 2 hands, and there's just a level of efficiency that you get there that you're not going to get with driving with just 1 hand. All right, so just be mindful of that. The next thing within that particular framework of safety driving, if you will, is to make sure that you're using your turn signals. Now, you may say, well, I use my turn signals already. That's great. Okay, so you're maybe one of the few, but turn signals are great because turn signals are supposed to be used for intention, not afterthought. So if you're running busy times for your dashes, always use your turn signals as intentional, not an afterthought. Also, within the same framework, make sure that you always put yourself in a position to pull over really quickly and put your hazards on, because if you're monitoring what's happening on the phone as the dash orders coming in, you want to give yourself plenty of time to think about if you want to take that particular order or just let that order pass as far as that's concerned. So you want to make sure you position yourself in such a way where you can easily pull over safely and do not affect the flow of traffic. Throw your hazards on, look at the order, and decide if you want to take it or not. So that's another thing. The other thing I want to mention as well is as you're taking the orders and you're getting ready to go into the store, you go inside that particular store, restaurant, the order is not ready. Make sure that you have canned responses or answers for the customer. So for example, you can say something like, if you have to call the customer because the order is not ready, you can say something like, hey, YouTube, I just want to let you know that the order is not ready yet. As soon as it's ready, I'm going to be making my way. Okay, so you can do like a canned answer for that. If you want to have canned texts already, just have like a Google notepad or something like that, where you have the canned answers for the particular situation. And most of them are going to be common. The order is not prepped yet. You're waiting for a couple of more minutes before it's ready. So these canned answers, instead of typing them over and over, you already have them in a notepad. So you just copy and paste for that particular situation. And there you're able to communicate that to the customer. And typically, not all the time, but typically when you do that, whether you call the customer or you text the customer, they tend to increase your tips. So you may want to consider making that a regular thing for your particular orders. The next thing that flows within this particular format of things is, as you're waiting for the order is not ready, you've texted the customer or you've called the customer, make sure you take a bathroom break, right? Because you're already in the store, you're already in an order, right? You're already dashing a particular order. So rather than wait to use the restroom in an odd time, this is a perfect time for you to take a restroom break because you're already at the store, right? The thing that you do not want to do is you do not want to take a break during your peak time when the orders are flowing in like pretty regularly. You don't want to mess up the flow of you driving and making the orders. You want to make sure that you take the break when you're already in the midst of something else going on. So you're already in the store, the order's not ready, just take the bathroom break and then wait for the order for a few more minutes to, contact the customer, and boom, and you're on your way and you're ready to go. So take that time to do that. Next thing I want to mention also is definitely take care of yourself, rest properly, take breaks in between dashes. Like if you're going to do like a 10 to 1:30, maybe the break in between your next major dash, if your dash is going to be 4 to 7 or 9 to 12, make sure you take some break in between, take some vitamins, rest properly, eat a balanced diet. All those different things will affect how you perform with your dashes. Make sure you're hydrating properly, whether you put something in the actual water, electrolytes and things like that. Make sure you're hydrating properly, and you'll be better for it as you're making your dashes. The other thing that I mentioned earlier, scouting the parking lots to make sure traffic lights are to your favor. So if you see a traffic light in a parking lot, use that to make your left or a right out of the parking lot, rather than finding a parking lot that doesn't give you the options to do that. Scout the parking lot in such a way where you know the best exits for that particular parking lot. And last but not least is wear comfortable shoes. Shoes are important. I know that this is a different video for my channel. I've been thinking about doing this particular video for a while, since I started dashing. Comfortable shoes are important, whether you're attending a convention or an E3 or any major convention of your choice or your taste as it relates to tech or entertainment. If you wear the fanciest shoe and it's not the most comfortable shoe, it's going to make you tired. You're going to get fatigued very quickly. But if you wear the most comfortable shoes for your runs, you're going to notice, and the shoe that gives you the most support, you're going to notice that that's going to be the most effective for you. You're going to feel better as the day goes on because you've taken the time to hydrate properly, take your vitamins, wear comfortable shoes, all the things that will help you. Wear clothing that are breathable, right? Wick free, or sweat proof type clothing that helps in that arena. Anything that helps you perform better, you need those things as you dash. So I wanted to share this with you as a video I've been thinking about doing for a long time. This would be for the individuals who are starting to dash for the first time. I'm still fairly new at dashing. I think at the recording of this video, I'm under 100 deliveries, but I believe my ratings are pretty good. Maybe I'll put my ratings somewhere on the screen here so you guys can check that out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. Definitely want to hear your comments below about my suggestions, my tips. And I plan to do a couple of more videos. One video will be about improving your gas mileage. I'm looking forward to doing that. So if you're looking for some tips in that regard, definitely subscribe. Also a video that I'm thinking about concerning the maximizing earning potential. And another video I'm thinking about best gear that every dasher shouldn't dash without. So that's a couple of videos in the door dashing department. That may become its own playlist on the channel. So definitely subscribe if you're looking forward to those things. If you want to see a particular video about door dashing, I may consider doing those depending on the video that you suggest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.